I've been around teams probably a little more closely than most writers, because when I was in college, I got to spend a lot of time as a radio broadcaster for Northwestern's women's team, and so like I had been on the plane, I had been on the bus, I had been in the shoot around, and then hadn't been in the locker room, but like I had been, I had been in team dinner, like all of those things. So it wasn't like totally foreign to me. But yeah, the level of access that I had, I'd been to UIC practices in the fall and been around them, been to a handful of their games, like have a pretty good relationship, as I said, with their staff, and like know what's going on. But then to take it to another level in the really like the 20 hours from winning this huge game against Drake in the semifinals to losing to Northern Iowa and everything that came with that, from literally walking into the locker room with them after the game on Saturday against Drake to walking with them down the tunnel to the locker room the moment they lost. I mean, it is a unique experience, very eye-opening. Watching the prep, I think, was probably the coolest part, and like what actually gets done. I think what gets presented to the team was probably like maybe the most interesting part, and I'm not sure how much of that I was really able to convey in the story. Like understanding, how do we actually prepare for the game? Here's all the information we have as coaches. How do we whittle that down to like the few very important essential nuggets that the players need? That I think was probably like the most fascinating part of it, as well as all the like logistical things. Like, when do we tell the kids to go to bed? Should we take their phones away? Should we, like, when should they eat? If they're going to eat breakfast, how early do they have to eat breakfast? Like, this is the most important game of their lives. And like a lot of this has to get decided somewhat on the fly, because you really didn't know your schedule until you won the games.